In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace a heavy-duty axle on a Subaru Forester. It's located behind the front wheel. After you've raised and supported the vehicle safely, you need to remove your 5 lug nuts. These are 19mm nuts. And remove your wheel. After you removed your wheel, you need to remove your axle nut. That axle nut is a 32mm. After you remove your axle nut, you need to remove the brake hose that mounts to the strut. That's a 12mm bolt. Now we're underneath the vehicle. You have your ball joint nut you need to remove, but before you remove that, you need to remove this cotter pin. Now it's time to remove your nut, and that nut is a 17mm. Now it's time to remove your lower control arm from your ball joint. Now you want to take your axle out from your knuckle and swing it and put it off to the side. Once you get your axle out of your knuckle, you can put a piece of wood like this just to keep your knuckle out of the way so you have plenty of room to remove your axle. This is where your axle goes into your transmission. You want to pry in between the axle and the transmission out to the left to remove your axle. It's always good to have a bucket underneath here just in case some fluid comes out. And there's your axle. Just a tech tip for you. This is the inner part of the axle. It has a C-clip. You want to have the C-clip opening down the bottom when you install it into the transmission. You want to push your axle in until it's seated. Once your axle is inside your transmission, you need to remove this piece of wood and install your axle into your knuckle. Once our axle is seated into our knuckle, pull down on the lower control arm and install your ball joint. Once your ball joint is installed, install your nut. And then torque that nut down to 30 foot-pounds. Once that's torqued down, you take your cotter pin, slide it through the hole and bend it down. Now we're going to reinstall our brake hose. And that gets torqued down to 24 foot-pounds. Now it's time to install your axle nut and tighten it down. Now you want to torque that nut down to 162 foot-pounds. If you have a helper, at this time they can push their foot on the brake pedal so your rotor doesn't move. We don't have someone, so you can use a pry bar and torque it yourself. On your axle, you're going to have this cutout. What you want to do is you want to peen your nut into that cutout. Just like that. To install your wheel, Slide your wheel over your lug nut studs and install your lug nuts. You want to tighten those in a star pattern. And torque those down to 65 foot-pounds. Once you've lowered your car down to a flat surface, now it's time to torque. You also want to torque in a star pattern.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.